This might get weird.
Are we rolling?
We're rolling.
Well, then cheers, Grace Helbig.
Cheers, Mamrie Hart.
You guys, we are back. We were gone last week, right? Yes, last week. Evergreen episode, you know? I feel like we conquered the word evergreen and also taught it to a lot of people.
Yes, I did see a lot of comments being like, I'm learning what the word evergreen means. And I didn't realize that, at one point I didn't know what that word meant. And now it's in my vernacular.
Based on the trees, baby, year-round trees. But
I didn't even realize it's that.
Yeah, because you have trees that like never lose leaves or anything. They're evergreen trees.
Yes. That does make sense.
Everyone's learning.
Turns out I did need to learn what that word meant. But no, I'm alive and well, and that is so exciting. I'm wearing a turtleneck even.
You look incredibly autumnal.
Thank you. As everyone knows now, I went to the hospital last week and found out I had a bacterial infection. And when I got out of the hospital, I was like, I got to turn my life around.
Great.
I was like, I got to start getting up and getting dressed and stop dressing like Adam Sandler for half a second and see if that affects my mental health, because it was a really fucking tough week. And I think even before that, my mental health was just like a little bit sad, and I was dressing very sad. So I feel like now I'm just making a small effort to see how this affects my mental health by actually putting like real people clothes on. But I do feel like I'm an NPR host now.
The earth tones, the gallery wall behind you. No, okay. Yeah, two things.
Yeah.
One, if you haven't watched Grace's YouTube video she put up about last week's adventures, which we will get into anyway, but like I watched it this morning and wow. And two, when we first got on our Zoom, because we chat for a little bit before we actually start recording. I was like, why did you almost die last week and you look better than me? Because you look like back to school, like, ooh, we got the young professor.
Yeah, it is what I'm going for. No, because I did some retail therapy. I have to kind of take a break, but I've been doing that a lot lately. I'm going on like Banana Republic and going on different websites. Girl, I'm turning my life around.
You did not just drop the bananas.
And J. Crew, because I'm obsessed with Jenna Lyons.
I know.
On Real Housewives of New York. She's literally like a newfound style icon, human icon to me.
I also think you two would just get along. I feel like you have similar energies.
Super similar energies. And literally the way she is on the show is, I think, how I would be on that show. Just kind of afraid of conflict and avoiding drama, but also and being awkward and not sure what to do on an all girls trip. And like, it's great. Have you been keeping up?
I love that we're saying. I feel like keeping up is trademarked by the Kardashians. I was like, we're mixing genres. I have been watching Real Housewives of New York. I am annoyed at how hot Brynn is.
Yeah.
I'll say that out of the gate. But I do think, I know a lot of people we both love Ramona and Sonia and Countess Luann and that entire freaking shit show.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people thought, don't reboot New York with new people. It's not going to work. Yeah. I'm so happy they did it.
Oh my God. I was so over Ramona and Sonia. I was like, these women are now just going to hurt themselves. Like, I don't want to watch old women drink themselves into like falling face first on a concrete like curb. Like, no.
Insane. So I've been watching it and enjoying it very much, but it kind of makes me go, why don't you just reboot all of them?
Yeah, I think they're rebooting a lot of them, or at least one other right now that I can't remember. But I've been watching a lot of reality television.
I bet you have.
Oh man, it has really been so comforting.
I want to hear more about. Okay, look, I've only had one Banana Republic J. Crew phase.
Yeah.
And ironically enough, it's when I was like 15.
Oh, wow.
I was very preppy.
A young professional.
When I first started high school, before I got into, like jam bands and stuff, I was wearing, like, I remember distinctly having cardigans that matched my socks.
Wow. That's a different version of you.
I mean, most of it was stolen.
Yeah.
But
there you go.
I still like was rocking like spaghetti strap tank tops and cardigans from like J. Crew with khakis, with socks, with brown loafers.
Wow. Very preppy. Very preppy.
So are we headed towards that?
A little preppy, I'm going more classics is what I'm kind of trying to lean towards. I have this like dream of having a wardrobe of just like basic classics that are nice, that work all year round every year. It's not really coming to fruition because also I love weird pieces too.
I know.
So I have like a shirt with like a big cartoon caterpillar on it and then just like a classic black turtleneck.
No, I always say I want to have how people have those capsule collections.
Yeah.
And you can reach into your closet and you can just grab high-end basics.
Yes.
You know, plain ones. I'm always like, I go to the mall totally thinking I'm going to go to Madewell. I'm going to go to these places, get really nice jeans, crisp white t-shirts. And then I walk out in clown shoes. Yeah. Like we talked about last week. I walk out like squeaking. Just a full, like I leave wearing a barrel as if I went over Niagara Falls.
Yep. I know. I go down some tangents and the initial job never gets completely completed. But we're getting there. We're trying.
Proud of you.
We're trying to look a little bit better than we were because we were feral last week. We were.
You had an excuse. Tell the people what went down. I know they can watch our YouTube video, but.
You can watch the YouTube video, but basically I started feeling bad and then started feeling really bad. And then I was texting you being like, I feel so bad that we got to use the Evergreen episode. Like, and I was really, really didn't want to break glass in case of emergency until I wanted to hold on to that. I don't know, out of pride in some way that like I can still record every week throughout this process.
It was ridiculous. You would be like, no, let's hang on. I was like, Grace, it's an episode, not your virginity.
I know.
Why are we being so precious about this? Take a week off.
Texting you, I was like in and out of consciousness. Like texting you, like I think we gotta use the one that we recorded before. But
so
no,
I was like, this is serious.
I was in such a bad state. I was just having, like, I have no filter now about my bowels and my body anymore. That like I was just having full diarrhea all day long while taking like Imodium like all day long. Like my doctor, what they say for, I guess, chemo patients when you have diarrhea as a side effect, he was like, take 2 Imodium every 2 hours. It sounds intense. But so I was doing that, not realizing, obviously, I come to find out later after going to the ER, because I'm like basically a dead fish on the couch for like 3 days, that I have a bacterial infection called C. diff, which is like, I don't know exactly how I got it or excuse me, how long it's been dormant in my body that, you know, I was just in a weak enough state that like it became active, but I was essentially full of like toxic waste. And by taking like Imodium, I was like keeping all the diarrhea inside my body that was trying to get out of my body, that was basically infected. And so I was just like walking around ruining myself for days at a time until finally, like going to the emergency room. And like, I knew the whole story on my YouTube is about giving a stool sample, which was just like the biggest journey of all time. But also like, I'm still reveling in like how proud I am for doing that. Because it did feel like a weird rite of passage. But I've the whole experience I'm still processing, because like I've never gone to the hospital like this.
I was thinking about when you got stitches in your
went
forehead.
urgent care.
Yeah, same. I've never been to the hospital either, and I'm like very like I'm trying to think of multiple times I've even been to visit people.
Right,
you know? Same.
I've never visited someone that I can remember offhand other than like a dying grandparent maybe.
Yeah,
but like
I was there like, you know, the day after my sister gave birth, that kind of thing. Not like in the heat of the moment, because I was out at college. And then remember maybe 2 years ago when Mary called me dog walker called me at like 2 a.m. to be like, I'm going to go get my appendix out. I need someone to know. I'm terrified to like be put under. And the next day, me just going to visit her and being like, am I doing this right?
Right. Yeah.
How do you enter hospital?
Oh,
we allowed.
We drove there. Elliot drove us there. We parked. We couldn't find the entrance. So I'm just like shuffling and Elliot's like holding me, trying to find the entrance of all these cars are just going on these busy streets.
Terrifying.
And we walk in, they took us back immediately, thank God. And so like they're running tests like crazy. And then they told me almost right away that like I'd have to stay overnight because the tests that they were running, they needed to get results the next day. And also just like I had been depleted in so many different elements that they needed to just like fill me up as much as possible. Like literally they were like, you're critically low in sodium, magnesium, potassium, calcium. Like I had just been like diarrheaing every piece of nutrients out of my body for 4 days until that point.
No joke. I remember my dad went to the hospital for a week a year ago because his sodium was so low. And I'm from just, I don't know, drinking water. I don't know what it was. And the flu. And I remember thinking, that's a thing?
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh no, how do I test these levels like on a regular basis now to see like where I'm at?
Okay, raise your hand if this sounds like you. You obsessively follow all those super credible health experts on TikTok. You take all the latest supplements your almond mom recommends, even the ones that don't taste so great going down. And you embrace the latest diet craze that your best friend swears by, whether it's eating no carbs, all the carbs, only carbs that grow on trees, only carbs between 3 and 4 p.m., all of the carbs. Well, ZocDoc might be for you. ZocDoc is a free app where you can find amazing doctors and book appointments online. No listening to TikTok. No listening to your mom. No listening to diet fads and crazes. We're talking about booking appointments with thousands of top-rated, patient-reviewed doctors and specialists. You can filter specifically for ones who take your insurance. I have done that. It makes it so much easier. I have kind of like a niche health insurance, which I feel like I would waste hours calling and Googling and trying to find the correct doctor. Instead, I go on ZocDoc. I put in what the actual appointment is for. Am I getting a teeth cleaning? Am I getting an allergy test, a dermatology test? Am I getting a pap smear? Am I getting a mammogram? Ladies, go get your boobies checked. Well, on ZocDoc, they can find exactly who will take my insurance if they're located near me, and they treat almost every condition you're searching for, and you can get them really fast. I probably book my doctor's appointments within 48 hours. ZocDoc is perfect for that. These docs all have verified reviews from actual real patients, not bots. So you can see, do they have a warm tableside manner? Are they very respectful of your privacy? You get real reviews from real people. And the average wait time to see a doctor booked on ZocDoc is just between 24 to 48 hours. That's it. You can even score same-day appointments. We love a last-minute, spontaneous doctor's appointment. So once you find the doc you want, you can book them immediately with just a few app taps. No more waiting awkwardly on hold with the receptionist. So if you'd like to try it, go to ZocDoc.com/weird and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then you find and book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/weird. ZocDoc.com/weird.
Is your deodorant so amazing that someone would steal it? Lumi is, and I know that because someone literally did. Okay, let me back up. Lumi is America's #1 whole body deodorant, pH optimized for pits, privates, and beyond. They also have Deo wipes for 24-hour odor control on the go. The wipes work so well that, yes, some deodorant bandits stole an entire truckload of them from the Lumi website this year. But to avoid California Highway Patrol, I recommend just ordering from their site. Special offer, new customers get $5 off Lumi's starter pack with code TMGW at LumiDeodorant.com. Okay, guys, I've been screaming about a whole body deodorant my whole life, and it is here. This is the first of its kind. Lumi is seriously safe to use anywhere on your body. Pits, underboobs, thigh folds, belly buttons, butt cracks, vulvas, and feet. Lions, tigers, and bears, oh my! It's created by an OBGYN who saw firsthand how normal BO is being misdiagnosed and mistreated. It is clinically proven to block odor all day and control odor for up to 72 hours. How? Unlike some deodorants that try to mask odor with fragrance, Lomi is formulated and powered by mandelic acid to stop odor before it starts. More like a pre-deodorant, if you will. Aluminum-free, baking soda-free, and paraben-free, pH balance for safe use below the belt. Lomi's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. As a special offer for you beautiful listeners, new customers get $5 off a Lomi starter pack with code TMGW at lomideodorant.com, LUMEDEODORANT.com. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack when you visit lomideodorant.com and use code TMGW. But so they were pumping me full of everything, and then I was like a little bummed to have to stay overnight, but also like I knew that that was for the best because I wanted to find out what was wrong. Because like if we were going to leave that hospital and they were going to be like, sorry, you're just like a little dehydrated, I would have been like, are you kidding me? No, there's something else going on. So I give them this stool sample, which is a huge moment in history of Grace Helbig, and also like helpful for the actual situation of figuring out what the fuck was wrong with me.
I mean, Grace, you describing it in your YouTube video, it felt like when you actually got it done, it felt like handing off the baton for the last few meters for the Olympic gold.
Yeah. And I thought that was the last like the only thing I really had to do that day, because they moved us up to a room upstairs to stay overnight, and they were still filling me with all these different IVs, and Elliot and I are like trying to get a little comfortable. And like as the night's going on, I'm not like, they come in, the nurse, and they'll like change out different IV bags, and then they're getting instructions from the doctors who like are off somewhere looking at test results. So like I'm only hearing from the nurses who hear from the doctors. So the plan of like what's going on is kind of developing. Like I'm not totally sure what else they're doing to me, what else I need to do. And so it's like getting later in the night. It's like, I don't know, 8-ish, almost 9. And I'm like, okay, when are they like done so I can start to figure out how to fall asleep? Because sleep is something I'm missing. And then the nurse comes in and she goes, oh, okay, the last thing we need to do today is we need to get you a CT scan. So we need to take you downstairs for a CT scan. And I was like, okay. Yeah, okay. Like the last thing I wanted to do was get out of this bed and go somewhere else in the hospital. But she's like, it's going to be super quick. It takes less than 5 minutes once you're in that room. And I was like, okay. So I sit there and we're waiting for this like last saline or whatever IV to finish up. And then there's like a knock at the door and this young kid's at the door. And he's my transport down to the CT scan. And I was like, oh, hey. He's like, hey, I'm taking you to the CT scan. I was like, well, I think I need to finish with this bag. Like, I'm hooked up still. I need to finish this bag. The nurse, maybe you want to ask her. And he's like, okay, let me ask. And then he comes back in. He goes, yeah, they want you to finish that bag because your electrolytes are all out of whack or something like that. What? And I was like, okay, yeah, that's, kind of what's going on. Then he sits down in the room. He just sits down. And then I'm on a bed. He's sitting in a chair like 3 feet away from me. And he's got a mask on because everyone has to come in with a mask because if I am positive for C. diff, it's contagious. So he just looks at me and he goes, I think I know who you are. And I was like, oh
no, this is the last moment you want to be recognized.
Last physical situation that I'm in that I want. I was like, oh, he's like, yeah, you did like cooking videos on YouTube. I was like, oh yeah, I used to do some cooking videos, and like, yeah, my friend Hannah does cooking videos and my friend Mamrie does drinking videos. He's like, yeah, and I used to watch you with the guy that eats chicken wings. I was like, Tyler?
Does Tyler eat chicken wings? I knew they did nuggets.
I think that's what he meant. I was like, Tyler? Because like Ellie and I looked at each other and he was like, yeah.
Oh no.
I was like, yeah. I used to make videos with Tyler. And so now we're just like in the room and he's established that he knows. He used to watch the videos. And I have like zero energy at this point. I was waiting for the green light.
You almost went into the light and now you're like just doing
I'm doing a meet and greet. I was waiting for the green light to fall asleep. And so I'm like, so how long have you worked here? And he was like, 5 months. I used to work at this bagel and pizza place, but I got fired for drinking on the job. I was like, oh. He's like, it was my first job. I didn't know. I was like, oh, okay. In my mind, I'm like, this guy's taking me down to the CT scan. All right, this is very cool. And he starts talking to me about how the place that he used to work at, he thinks was laundering money the whole time. Okay. And we're getting in that conversation.
We love a scam.
Then finally the nurse comes in and is like, okay, your machine is done. You're ready to go down to the CT scan. And I was like, okay, here we go. And he's got the wheelchair and I get on the wheelchair and then he starts zipping me.
I was going to say, is he popping wheelies?
He's like, whoop, like a little bit of zip and a pep. And I was like, whoa, okay, we're having fun. Honestly, the air felt kind of nice. So I go in and I'm like, yeah, man, it must be really crazy to work here. And he's like, yeah, it's really crazy. We're making that kind of small talk. I go in, I do my CT scan, which like feels crazy. And my body's so tired. You have to like hold your hands over your head and they run you in and out of this machine a couple of times, but it goes pretty quick. Then they put me back in the wheelchair and he and I are going back. And I was like, he's walking me through. He's like, yeah, that hallway's crazy because that's the morgue and that's the cafeteria. And I was like, why are they right next to each other? He's like, I don't know. This place is crazy. I was like, what's some crazy stuff you've seen? He's like, that hallway down there, they were picking maggots out of a guy's skin. I was like, whoa.
I'm going to throw up.
I was like, I'm like nauseous and shitting constantly. I was like, wow, that's crazy to hear, man. And then I was like, okay, what's the craziest thing that's ever happened while you were working here?
You are a rebel, Grace. The fact that you're asking, you're going too deep.
I went into podcast host mode because I was like, this is going to be the end of our journey, me and this guy. Let me find out what else he's got up his sleeve. And he goes, oh, so that room that you were just in. I was like, yeah, the CT scan. He's like, yeah, a guy died in there. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, he made it all the way to the CT scan room and then he died when they were giving him the scan. And then I got the message on my phone because that's how he knows where to transport people. They send messages on his phone. I got the message on my phone that I had to transport the guy to the morgue. And it was my second day of work. I didn't even know that I was responsible for transporting dead bodies. And so when I went to move the body, the head touched my leg.
Oh my God. The man who got fired for drinking at the pizza parlor is responsible for moving someone's remains
to the morgue. That's very close proximity to the cafeteria. I was like, wow, dude, that's a crazy second day of work.
Holy shit.
That's nuts. And then, we say our goodbyes and he's like, hey, I hope you feel better soon. And then I post my video today. He leaves a comment on the video.
Stop
goes,
it.
Hey, Grace, this is your transporter. I hope you feel better. Sending you all the good vibes. And I was like, oh, he wasn't lying that he does watch the videos.
I mean, there's something so obviously it's like that was the last thing you felt like doing. But there's something so sweet about even in that crazy moment you're talking to someone who you've made an effect on.
It was such an intense and traumatic day that little 5-minute pocket was so entertaining and just total added to the fever dream out of body experience that was happening that it was like just kind of, I came back to the room and I started writing it down, and I was telling Elliot, I was like, honestly, that was pretty nice.
Yeah. It sucks
It was
how tired
nice
you
to
were.
get out.
A day on the town with a young man.
But also
With a job.
I can't imagine, like, one, I can't imagine working in the science field at all in general, but even tangentially of like, he works per diem, he says. So like because so many people like call out, I guess, of that situation. And his whole job is just to transport people. And it's so funny because when they moved me from the downstairs emergency room that we were in to the overnight room upstairs, he was the one that moved me. But when he was moving me, I felt someone shake the thing like in a playful way that I looked up wondering if they let Elliot like move me to the elevator, and he was trying to like make me feel good. But it was this kid that was doing that.
I wonder what the interview process, like, do you think they have them do, and if you work in a hospital, please let us know, like a driver's test, you know, where they're like, okay, you'd like to, great, I'm going to get in the chair. I'd like for you to, you know, someone comes in, they don't feel great, do this delicately. Now I need you to rush me to another room, you know, like truly Tokyo Drift style. Like, I want to know.
Like, you need to go backwards with a wheelchair into elevators. I watched a nurse correct another nurse on that. It also felt there was a lot of like nurses training too. Like the whole thing felt like there was a lot of newbies kind of floating around in the situation.
Newbie Tuesdays.
But I will say, my entire experience was so great. And I know people have like really terrible experiences with nurses and doctors, especially in hospital settings, since it's not that personalized. But thankfully, I had such a great experience. The nurses were so incredible and super attentive and just very like explaining to me what was going on every step of the way, even if I couldn't even understand what they were explaining to me. No, so that part was great.
I was so thankful because I was getting updates from Elliot.
Yeah, I couldn't even look at my phone. I was like, but I did do the AI thing because I was like, I need to do something to entertain myself right now.
I randomly, I don't know if Elliot called you, I randomly texted him the morning you guys went to the hospital.
Weird.
I haven't texted Elliot. I don't know. Maybe his birthday.
Yeah.
And I texted him that morning just to be like, hey, obviously I tell Grace if she needs anything, but I wanted to make sure you know if you need anything, you know, like let us know, even if it's ordering you lunch, and just thinking he's at home with you. And then he was like, I was meaning to text you. Grace and I are at the ER. And I was like, it was randomly texting that. So I immediately drove home. I was like, half a mile from you, like waiting to see if I could see you.
I know my stepbrother came to the hospital too, and I was just like, I am in no form to see anyone. And Elliot, God bless him, he was like an information center. He was like texting with all of my family and friends and like making sure everyone had updates the whole time.
No, he was so proficient with it too, which I appreciated. I was like, I hope he's just copy and pasting this because as you know, a concerned friend, like all I want is details. And he was like, I will, kudos to Elliot as like a partner, because the last thing you want is like, she's doing all right, we're figuring it out. He was like, her blood pressure's this, which I immediately Google like, is this bad?
Yeah, I know.
How serious is this? And I was like, and I'm packing and I'm driving home.
Literally, when I had at home hydration first, when we first thought it was just like severe dehydration, and the nurse that came here for that did my blood pressure, and she looked at me and she read me the number. She's like, your blood pressure is like, I don't know, it was like 80 something over 50 something.
It was wild.
And I was like, okay, like I didn't even, I was like, said, I know that's bad, but like, is it bad? You're looking at me like I know blood pressure numbers.
The fact that you're reading them out to me makes me think this isn't normal.
Something's probably wrong here. We did buy a blood pressure machine that reads around your wrist, and it's very fun to use now.
Ooh, I always get nervous when I think the squeezy thing,
yeah.
I feel like I'm going to explode.
Yeah, that one, it gets what they were doing my blood pressure like every hour, and I had so many needles in like different parts of my arm, and so like every time they squeezed, it was squeezing needles, and it was just like
terrible drag name.
Yes. What's the perfect duo when it comes to growing your business? That's you plus Shopify. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business, from the launch your online shop stage to the first real life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit 1 million orders stage. Shopify's there to help you grow. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell everywhere, from their all-in-one e-commerce platform to their in-person POS system. Wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout, up to 36% better compared to other leading commerce platforms, and sell more with less effort thanks to Shopify Magic, your AI-powered all-star. What I love about Shopify is that no matter how big you want to grow, they give you everything you need to take control and take your business to the next level. Literally everything. Literally everything. Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the US, and Shopify's the global force behind Allbirds, Rothy's, and Brooklinen, and millions of other entrepreneurs of every size across 175 countries. Plus, Shopify's extensive help resources are there to support your success every step of the way, because businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/weird, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/weird now to grow your business no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/weird.
With all the skincare products out there, we are constantly asking ourselves, do I really need toner? Is that 10-step routine really necessary that I've seen people do online? And who has the time? Do I have to carve out an hour of my day to do every single step? Well, it's time to take the guesswork out of your skincare routine and find out what's right for your skin specifically with the Inky List. The Inky List is an award-winning, science-backed skincare brand that has the right ingredients at, get this, an affordable price. Can you believe it? I mean, sometimes you think you're going to have to refinance your home to get a decent scrub. No, Inky List is totally affordable, which is so refreshing to see. Whether it's targeting acne, reducing fine lines, or boosting hydration, the Inky List creates a unique skincare routine that really works for you so you can reach your skin goals. If you don't know where to start, your first stop should be their online skincare quiz. This isn't like a quiz in school. This is a fun quiz that's going to help you. They're going to answer any of your questions so you can make better decisions about your skin. Like, do I really need that toner? What actually is polyglutamic acid? I can't even say it, but I can use it. And is skipping moisturizer making my oily skin worse? Well, you can get a whole new skincare routine for under $30, you guys. I love their rosacea stuff. You got to check it out. And if you already know what you need, you can find products with ingredients that work, like retinol. Hello, ladies. A little retinol on your skin while we're aging, and vitamin C without breaking the bank. Plus, they just launched a new product that will take your routine to the next level with their new plumping lip balm. Get ready to smooch. It's 40% plumper lips in just 4 weeks. No filter, no filler, just fuller. Check out the before and afters on their website if you don't believe me. So right now, the Inky List is offering our listeners 20% off their purchase with promo code TMGW. Okay, it's already affordable, and then you use that code. You guys, go to the Inky List, spelled INKEY, and use promo code TMGW for 20% off your order. That's the Inky List, INKEY.com, promo code TMGW.
Oh, but this is one thing about a hospital that I loved.
Okay.
So in the room, and people that have stayed in hospitals know about this, but I was just like enamored by the novelty of this. So we had 2 beds in the room because it's for 2 different patients, and so there's 2 televisions, and the remotes are connected to each bed, but the volume for the TVs comes out of the remote control so that you're not bothering the person next to you. It blew my mind. Also, that remote control called the nurse and fixed the bed. And I was like, this is the greatest invention of all time. This one little universal thing that I was watching HGTV and just holding the remote up to my face like I was on a phone call.
Can you buy those remotes? I feel like that is something that the senior citizen community would want.
Right. Or like
as a whole.
When I'm in bed and Elliot's doing something else and I want to watch something on the TV and he doesn't want to watch it, then I'm like, give me the remote audio.
You're like, well, luckily that's when it comes in handy. Obviously, when Chip is playing video games and he's wearing his headphones, it's not so quiet because he's screaming the whole time. You know, it's actually jarring that he's like screaming at ghosts.
Yeah.
But sometimes if he's like, if I'm out here doing something and he's just watching TV, he'll still put on the gaming headphones. So I don't have to hear the TV. So it feels like a same vibe.
It was like, it blew my mind. That was like, where is the volume coming from? This is, it's coming from my hand. Wow.
Wait, are you totally desensitized to needles now? Because I can't remember if you were scared of shots before.
I can't look still. Like, I'm not going to look at it, but
anyone who looks is a freak.
Is a freak. God bless. No, in that moment, I was just like, fill me up. I don't care. Because like I had my port in my arm was where we were doing hydration and they left the needle in that port because we were going to just do 5 days of hydration straight. So the next day, a nurse was going to come and just like rehook up to that port scenario. So I had that just like hanging out there. And then they put different port IVs in each arm. And then
you're like a coast.
Yeah.
You're just full of ports. San Diego?
But it was crazy, but we made it through. And
Thank
now
God.
I feel like so much better. My God, I feel like I have a different level of tolerance in my body and a different awareness of my body and also like what to do when something's wrong. So it was a very educational, albeit traumatic experience.
Yes.
But thankful to have figured out that it was something
treatable.
Something not related to just side effects. Because I was like, if this is just side effects, like I cannot keep doing chemo. This is way, way too much.
No, but also just... good to know. It's like now your barometer is different where you go, oh, yeah, if something feels bad.
Yeah.
It really is. I'm not being a baby about it.
Yeah.
Like you need to go.
You have instincts. Like the whole time I just kept being like, something's not right. And even taking the Imodium, I was like, I don't think this Imodium is doing the right thing right now. Like something is off. And so I think we all have just those instincts about our own bodies. It's just actually listening to them.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
she's okay. You guys, she's doing great. She's getting good updates.
I'm doing well. Speaking of things doing well, I got to see your skeleton in person and holy shit, it's fucking huge and hilarious and wonderful.
You don't know how tall 12 feet is till you put together bones. It's so crazy, Grace. I knew. Okay. It says 2 people recommended.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It really does. But then my friend Mackie was like, oh, I was able to put mine together. It only took me a couple hours. Okay. I put it together. Justine was like, what? You like in my comments being like, you did this by yourself? It took me and my sister like hours to do it. I was just determined to get it up there. I will say the next morning felt like I'd been in a fender bender.
Yeah.
My lower back was going wild. And also too, like you're putting it together and you have to tilt it on its side to like, put the hips in, put everything together. And you think like, I didn't put the hand on it at first because I was like, well, I don't know what I want it to do yet. It might be holding a beverage. I'll put that on later. And then you hoist it up like Gulliver's Travels. You hoist it up and realize like, I can't reach its fucking arm.
Yeah.
Like, it's so big.
You need
it's crazy.
Scaffolding at that point.
I know. I was like, I don't even know if a regular ladder will get it. You have to like bring it down. It looks amazing. I'm going to get lights to shine up, like purple lights to shine up at night. You know, I need to spook the rest of the yard because now it just looks like I only invested in the skeleton and like there's nothing. It looks out of place a little bit. It's in the fig tree. But it's so funny. I put it up there and you know Michelle Collins?
Yeah.
God, she's so funny. She comments under my Instagram, "You got my Pronuvo scans?" She's a tall girl.
Good. So good.
So I'm still figuring out what to dress it up as. You don't want to put anything in its hands that could fall on someone's head.
True. Yeah.
It's falling from the second story. So
Liability.
then I go, do I get just like an inflatable fake beer?
Oh, fun.
Do I get an inflatable microphone and he's like singing? I put up like a fake karaoke screen.
Oh my God. There's so many possibilities.
I just thought of that right now.
So great.
So I'm listening to everyone's suggestions, but yes, I put it together. It is there. It is done. It is huge.
It's amazing. It's so you. It's perfect. I don't know how you've lived without it for so many years.
I know, right? It feels right. But it's crazy to me that it's already October 10th?
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm going to be for Halloween.
That was on my list of questions to ask.
No idea. I have no clue because obviously last year I shit the bed being one specific picture of Prince.
You got it really well, though.
I looked like Kris Jenner.
A little bit.
But what's so funny is I was on Facebook yesterday. Okay, I know. Boomer. No, I still go on there just to look at memories.
Yeah.
Like the button that says this is what you were doing on this day 5 years ago. It's like time hop.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's fun to go back and go, oh, my band played this day. Oh,
fun.
Grace and I did a Home Buddies for She's All That this day. It's a fun little archive. But I went on there and I always check my sister's her posts because she's always just posting, you know, memes that are I know if she's having like relationship problems or anything because the memes will be like, a man can't, you know, it's very it's just like the worst Comic Sans font being like, a man will never respect, you know.
Yes.
But I go up there and she posts a pic of when Paul Rudd was like took his daughter trick-or-treating and she was like Wasp from Ant-Man and he just went as Weird Al, and Annie posted like cry laughing emojis and saying, oh, someone please dress as Weird Al this year. And I just responded with a pic of Beanz as Weird Al last year. And I was like, your niece was Weird Al. I went to the wig store, I got one curly hair extension and made the accordion out of like a Afrin box. Lest
we not forget one of the greatest costumes of all time.
Right? But so I saw that and was thinking, what's Halloween going to be this year?
Yeah.
You don't ever dress up.
No, I'll do it like last minute for like an Instagram photo or something. I went as E.T. in drag a couple years ago.
For the wedding?
Well, I went as E.T. in drag when we were like in lockdown one year. I dressed up because we had watched E.T. and then we went to a wedding last year or the year before.
Yes.
Tessa Netting's wedding, which was so fun. And everyone was encouraged to come in costume to the reception. And we went as E.T. and Elliot.
Well, because people have been saying that Chip and Larry should be E.T.
Yeah.
Because Larry looks really good in a hoodie and he's really comfortable in like a sling Baby Bjorn situation that could be the bike.
It's pretty great. Pretty good. Yeah. Much to think about.
I don't know. Maybe Pee Wee Herman. Okay. Just an honor. I mean, but it's so boring. I want to just dress as him on a Wednesday.
Yeah. I know. Honestly, I haven't thought about it at all. 0%.
You should just be a monster and it's just, I'm C. diff. And you can educate people on that bacterial infection.
Yeah, which is horrible. And apparently a lot of people have had it from what I'm reading in comments so far, which is kind of reassuring in some way. My aunt had it twice. She got it once.
Stop it.
Yeah. Found out she got it once on a cruise. So be careful out there, kids.
Hey.
Because it's contagious. Yeah.
Cruises are just, what are the Petri dishes?
Yeah, exactly. Another strike against cruises. Oh, wait, your gift. I forgot.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. Tiny little thing. So as we all know, we listened to my North Carolina adventure at Bald Head Island and the wonderful crew, which we've been texting. We're all friends. I'd like to report that Kitty and Chris go walking together.
Love that.
They're new besties. Chris, the karaoke queen. But when her husband, we had heard about him in the days, and then he came for the last day. But I guess he's like a big jam band guy, which is just so funny because they were both doctors for 40 years or something.
Amazing.
So it's just they're, very like seemingly uptight, but then, cool jam bandy. But I don't know if it's a Willie Nelson song or where this comes from, but I guess his kind of motto is ain't dead yet. And one day Chris was like, I walked into the basement and he had just painted it as a mural in the whole across the whole basement, which I just thought was so funny. It's something I would have done.
Yeah.
But so when we got there, they had brought Ain't Dead Yet hats for the people working the weekend as like a little gift. It was so cute.
Great.
And so they sent me one, but they also sent you one.
Oh, yay.
And they sent a note, which is so cute, that just said, Dear Mamrie, they wished me a happy birthday. They said, we hope you enjoy the hat, and we wanted Grace to have one as well. After all, she had to listen to every detail of our wild and wacky weekend, so she is unofficially a part of the group. She's also a true inspiration to women fighting breast cancer with such humor and such dignity. She has a long life ahead of her, and wearing this cap will further ensure that. Until we meet again, Chris. And Phil.
God, that is so sweet. Thank you I will wear that hat because I've started to build my confidence up about wearing hats outside. And so now I know no bounds. Here we go.
Look at
hats.
her wearing Banana Republic and baseball hats. You are officially a Diane Keaton character.
Yes. That's all I want to be.
Okay, but back to
so
this huge box beside me.
Which the box is wrapped left over from Nathan, who gave me a gift and wrapped it in those. I didn't wrap it in that. That's from Nathan.
I was like, what? I know. I just assumed this was you wrapping something for one of your nieces.
No, this is Nathan, who listens to the pod. Hey, Nathan, I reused your box to give Mamrie her birthday gift. No, I ordered these weeks ago, and they were questionable as to how they'd show up. So happy birthday. This is your birthday gift.
Oh my God. It's a plural. I'm nervous.
Yep.
I'm nervous. Okay.
They're so stupid. They're so stupid, and they're so insane looking.
You guys, they are slippers that look like Beanz.
They are.
Beanz was bred with a duck and a sheep.
I found a website called Cuddle Clones, and they make clones of your animal as slippers, but the only photos I could submit of Beanz were ones I found online. And also, every time I came over to try and take, like when we were podcasting and you would go to the bathroom, I would try to take a picture of Beanz because they need it from every angle. But she was always wearing something, so I couldn't take it. So these showed up and they look insane, and they're not quite right.
No, but they're perfect. Here's the thing. If they didn't have two little pink tongues, I'd be like, what are those huskies?
I know.
With the tongue, it's the iconic accessory. You spot it immediately. These are amazing.
Oh, yeah, they don't give you like a proof to approve or anything. So you're just putting blind trust into like, here's 10 photos of this dog. Please make these into slippers.
What is the name of the company?
Cuddle Clones.
Cuddle Clones. You don't even understand.
They're so stupid. They look insane.
I'm obsessed. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Happy 40th birthday.
I love that you're like, I'm really starting to wear J. Crew, Banana Republic. I'm like, let's fucking go.
I know.
These dog slippers.
Honestly, I had like a moment where I was worried that if they looked too accurate, it would be like emotionally like weird for you. So I'm glad that they don't look right.
Oh my God, I'm obsessed. And I'm not leaving the house the rest of the day, so this is perfect.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
happy
my
birthday.
God, thank you so much.
I was crying, laughing. I ripped them out of the bag when they finally showed up, and then I was like, oh, these are not quite right. That's perfect.
But the ears are pretty good, and the tongue is perfect. I love them. Thank you, Grace. Grace.
You're welcome.
I'm in my cuddle era.
There we go.
So this is perfect. Oh, man. Well, I just have to say, I'm so happy you're feeling better.
Me too.
Thank the goodness, all the Lord. And wow, yeah. I mean, what a journey you have had. I'm exhausted thinking about it.
Yeah, I'm going to rest the rest of the day. That sounds really nice.
I think you should rest the rest of the week, the rest of the month.
Yep, and I'll keep you guys posted on like results from MRI and mammogram because I'm really fucking pumped at how shrunk this tumor is. So hopefully good news is on the horizon. Here we go.
Wait, you know what you should be? I mean, Chip was him as a different character when we did Ghostbusters. You should be Rick Moranis, and you should be Honey, I Shrunk the Tumor.
Oh, that's a great call.
Just throwing that out there.
Nice. Nice. Well, or I'll be the shrunken tumor and Elliot can be Rick Moranis.
There we go. Well, I will say for sure this got weird.
Yep.